Good evening, everyone. Hello, how is everyone? You're gonna have to let me know if it sounds any good or not. Hey, Underdog Painting, how you doing? Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one this evening. Gramrick, evening. I'm gonna be painting up a little bit of Goliath. A little bit more subdued than yesterday, so we're gonna take a nice, easy pace. And I've got some Goliaths I've got to get painted up. I just need to blend the muscle tones together. And then these guys, I think, are going to be. I'm going to start moving on to some other colours. Let's go to palette. Martin the Warrior, hello. Hello. Yes, so how is everyone today? I've had an exceptionally good day because I got a new PC at work and it is miles better than my old one, which was slow. Very, very slow. Like, wait 10 minutes for emails to open, kind of slow. So, yeah, that was cool. So, I can actually work properly again now, which is good. And yeah, it's happy about that. Not necessarily happy about the rest of the day, but that's just work in general. It's just like could not be bothered. But it's all good now. It's all good. The day is over. The week is over, so we can chill out and we can paint some models, chat to you lovely people, and see what's been happening in the world. So now, what I'm doing with these Goliaths, you're probably not going to be able to see because the light is rubbish. But what I'm planning on doing is just doing glaze washes over their muscle structure. It's really pointless in showing you that. Lighting's rubbish on it. Hopefully for Christmas I'm going to get some new lights so we can get that sorted. Ravendale Tactica, hello, Lupus Raptor. I work weekends to support my hobby. Oh, okay, fair enough. I have not noticed you on the chat before, Lupus Raptor, so welcome along. This is kind of a little bit of a substitute to Wargame Online not having a show on the go, so and Chillin' Wargamers is rescheduled for Sunday. So I thought I'd come along and have a chat with people, see what everyone's doing and happening, getting up to. Student life, yeah, I know, mate. Picked up my made-to-order Bone Singer from GW Day. Nice. I know Phil was super excited about that. I used to collect Eldar, so I was like half excited. But I don't collect them now, and I was like, do I buy them just for the sake of it? And I think something clever happened in my brain and went, nah, you don't need it. You don't have that army. So yeah. I did not spend money for once, which was crazy. It's so weird, skin tones, because I used to have real trouble with them. Now I just see what interesting things I can do with them. So I don't, it's not necessarily so much a case of getting it wrong anymore. Like, I don't really get it wrong anymore. I just do different things. And the trick is basically highlight up the extreme points and then just glaze and glaze and glaze and glaze and glaze, so that all the weird, like extra harsh detail and stuff like that, once the glaze is dry on it, it'll blend it all together. And yeah, so any like weird kind of like harsh lines or anything like that, just glaze it, and sooner or later they will just all blend together and it becomes amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, tip of the day when doing skin tones, just glaze. It's much, much easier. It does take longer. I have to admit, it does take longer, but it's not hard. The tricky point with faces is the eyes with me. I can never get eyes right. So we're getting home at like 5 weekdays. I prefer to paint by natural light, so the time of year I can paint much of the weekends. Yeah. Yeah, I did hear there were rules for the Bone Singer as well, which is pretty funky. I like that they've done that. So, since I'm painting, unlike yesterday, I was more assembling yesterday, and I talk a little bit more. In fact, I didn't, I didn't do a massive amount yesterday on the chat and chat, but um, I did enjoy talking. Now, I do find with painting, it becomes my solitary thing. So, apologies if I do have momentary parts of being quite quiet. It's not intentional. I just seem to go quiet for some reason when painting. I think I'm getting too used to listening to podcasts and stuff like that. See, there it goes again. Either that or I don't know what it is. Maybe there's some weird psyche thing that when I paint, I my mouth shuts up. I don't know. I'd be intrigued to know that. Like a scientist to study me, like find out what's going on in my brain when I paint. That would be an interesting thing. Find out what wargamers happens in a wargamer's brain when they paint models. I wonder. Hmm. Yeah, glazing skin is just the way forward. If you want to, if you want to make life easy for yourself when painting skin, just glaze. Just makes life easier. Just makes life easier. Concentration, oscillation. Yes, it is concentration. I just generally intrigued to see what happens to us, like brain wise. Is there a specific thing? Like, because you know when people do different things and stuff like that, when they monitor their brains, they it has a similarity or something to another thing. So yeah, I'd just be intrigued to see that. Uh, uh, um, to be honest with you, Martin, when it comes to glazes, so the question was, do I have any good glazes? I use the paints I've got as glazes. Um, if you want to use skin, if you want to do skin, um, highlight up higher than you want to go. So use the very highest thing, like I've got one here called Elf Flesh. Now I use these on the Goliath, but what after I've done that final highlight, I come back in and I thin down this one, which is bronze flesh tone. Thin it down to the point where I'm happy that if I paint it on, it won't leave a solid mark. It'll just create this glazy wash. And Yeah, that's how I create glazes. People use all their fluid and glaze medium and stuff like that, and yeah, that does work. So don't get me wrong, that the stuff the pros use does work. I just tend to mix it with a bit of water, um, to the point where it's people say the consistency of milk for like stuff like airbrushing. This is a uh, it's tricky because it's nearly transparent, and when you have on your brush, you don't load up the brush. You just get it so it's kind of wet, and then you just brush on the wetness onto the model, and that then creates your glaze. So if you see pooling, that's kind of the thing you don't want with glazing. That's more of a shade thing. But yeah, so with shading, you want it to pool and create the shadows and stuff like that. With glazing, it's not a case of that. You want it to just change the color and the tone of the color that's already there. But glazes help blend a lot more, whereas shades kind of define, if that's a thing. I think that's maybe a term. Is that a sensible answer? I don't know. Um, so yeah, in regards to glazes, you've already got them. Just take the paint you've got, thin it down, to the point where it's nearly kind of see-through. I mean, you can get it to the point with not much water added to it, but as long as you sort of like, for example, I'll do this for you. I'll see if I can show you this. So this is like solid paint here. I would then take some water, mix it up like that. So, and then you wipe off the majority of the paint. Now, paintbrush, it's not going to focus on the paintbrush at all. But it doesn't look like it's got any paint on it, but it's definitely wet. And when you paint it on, you can see it's a slight tint of the color. So you're kind of nearly painting on a colored water to a degree. Now you just push it around the model. Don't let it pool. Just so it just has a coverage over it. It won't take long to dry as well because it's mainly water. If you did it with like drying retarder, you'd be here all day. So that's why I tend to use water. And yeah, you just glaze and glaze and glaze and glaze until you're kind of happy with what you want. So, hmm. Also as well with this, if you got like a sharp line, say like at this point on the shoulder here or something like that, if you glaze just around it so it's overlapping the harsh line and the other line, it will start to blend those two lines together. So yeah, that's worth having a look into as well, just for people who are a little bit afraid of blending and stuff like that, wet blending. This kind of is wet blending, but it's kind of like a glaze blending. So it doesn't require a massive amount of skill to be able to pull this off, uh, which I think's great, and I think to make life easier. So we've got two more dudes left after this one. Then what we'll do is we'll start on painting up some straps and stuff like that, and getting some definition out of these. don't know whether or not to do the metal. Metal. All for the metal. Uh, yeah, I mean, I say you've already got the stuff. You can get proper glaze. Um, um, you can get proper glaze paints as well, which do the job. You don't have to thin them down too much. So, yeah, don't worry about those. Those will do the job that's on the tin. Basically, what they say on the tin. It's just if you're going to make up your own for skins and stuff like that, I tend to find making up your own kind of glaze works a lot better. It's cool. Ravendale subscribing to Underdog. That's cool. Got really slowed up, so upload speed currently 22 minute, 8% done. Yeah. Base skin tone with filet glazed medium. Yeah, that's definitely another way to do it. Martin, all right. No problem. Evening peeps, all boys in the house. New to these chats, big fan of Horus Heresies. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry I haven't done many in a while. Yeah, I kind of got trolled and I 8th edition came out and I've kind of fallen in love with it. So I need to get back into the heresy side of things. The problem is it's as I said, I've kind of fallen in love with 8th edition mainly for how easy it is to play and how much because my old friends, my old gaming group, who I kind of grew up with, are playing 8th edition, and it's basically just get to hang around with my mates. My other friends who play heresy stuff are a little bit rivet counterish with it, a little bit. And it sucks the fun out of it for me because I don't really care too much about winning or losing. I just like playing a game. But it's very, yeah, it's very much an elitist side of things. I do want to carry on doing it. I've just got to find my way of keeping into it. So I want to keep it kind of fun. I don't want it to become a thing for rivet counters. I mean, if they find something useful out of it, then fine. I'm not really going to complain. But I want to find like lore videos and stuff like that. I've been reading up. I'm looking into doing Raven Guard next, and I'm just trying to read up on all things about the 19th Legion. Because there's a lot of stuff about Raven Guard, but there's not a lot of stuff about the 19th Legion. And there's some interesting stuff I want to point out, which I've been reading up on. So, yeah, hopefully that will get done at some point. But I've got a couple other videos in the work at the moment, so I've got 2 or 3 painting tutorials I need to get edited, and I need to film some new stuff. But Christmas is coming, so I'll have a bit of time with that. So I shall endeavour to get some bits out. I think I'm painting some drop fleet stuff soon. I might have mentioned this yesterday. So that will be on the cards. And there is a review on paints, which are on their way to me, which is going to be really cool. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yes, I would like to start the Starting a Heresy series again. I just need to sort of brace myself for it because, yeah, I got a lot of love for him, but what comes with a lot of love comes with a lot of hate as well. So there was just some general obscenities being flung around. So it's just like, whew, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. But luckily, kind of was. Well, I took a break from it, and yeah, I'm all kind of good now, which is good. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just having a look at the Goliath to see what kind of setup they should have. What colours everything's been painted. I sound very low in the throat today. Um, they're not as red as I thought. How interesting. Some of them are. How interesting. Spiky, spiky, red, 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 red. Okay. Right, cool. Okay, so I've got an idea. Let's paint some straps. So, Lupus Raptor, Carl M. Evening, Carl. Vallejo Glaze, medium is essentially drying retarded, but I paint piecemeal in between work, so I don't mind the weight. That's good. That's good. Probably the reason I got to Horus Heresy. I started Iron Hands and looked at Legion videos. Oh, thank you. I still love Horus Heresy. The book series is amazing. Um, it's it's just become very stop-starty with Heresy stuff. It's not been massively consistent for a little while. So I think that's why there's no like they're releasing new models, and yeah, I get that. But like the storyline's going on and on and on and on and on. And it seems now to the point where you have to know every single little story to make the big stories connect with each other. So it's a bit like the Marvel universe and everything like that. And if you want to understand all the Easter eggs, then you've got to read every single thing, or likewise Marvel, watch every movie or every TV series, etc. And yeah, that can become a bit of a pain. What we got here? Scorched brown. Let's do some of that. So let's get some more definition on these big guys. Iron Hands probably have the hardest paint scheme is, I think. Yeah, it's tricky with Iron Hands because you want to pull off a really, really dark metal, like a black metal. Now, you could just paint it black. That's fine. That does that. But most people won't because it's just a cop out, really. So everyone's been doing like greeny, orangey, purpley, metallic black, which is generally fascinating. Not really seen that much going to a metallic black before, but yeah, I'd probably say Iron Hands and Alpha Legion, possibly the two with the trickiest. I mean, even Night Lords are not easy, but I'm kind of, I kind of got that down. So if you if you're into yeah, if you're into painting and airbrushing and stuff like that, Night Lords is relatively easy. So where does the boot end and where do the trousers begin? That is always the question. So, Sean Blake. Hello, Sean. How we doing? I Raven Guard the easiest then. Um, Anything black's hard, to be honest with you. Statement. uh, Black is notoriously a tricky color to paint. Um, they because you could just paint black, that's fine. But if you want to do something kind of cool and something that stands out, then yeah, you got a bit of a tricky time in your hand. How do you make black really defining and stand out? It's a tricky one. It's not an easy job. So, but I mean, everyone finds their way of doing it. And to be fair, I think everyone finds their way of doing it. Paints for God knows how long, trying to finish a heresy army. By the time they're done, they've learned loads more, and they're like, "Oh, I kind of wish I changed the first ones." Yep, concentration time. Concentration time. But I'm glad I could inspire, to be honest with you. I'm glad some people got some education out of it, or at least some entertainment out of it. It's that was the whole point of it. And yeah, it did take off a bit. I did have to admit, I was not surprised. I was generally a bit shocked at how well received that was. Yeah, very much was shocked on that front. So, but it's good. I'm glad it has made a difference to some people. I think the first video is just what kind of set the tone of the whole thing, though, because it was kind of a clear, bold statement right from the start of like, this is not the way you want to do it. Don't do what everyone else thinks, and this is the main difference between 30k and 40k. I think that was my real sort of jump off point, where people kind of went, "Oh, so that's what heresy is about." And yeah, it's like heresy for beginners. That was kind of the whole point. So, and now I've become a painting monster. So, yeah, get that. I'm thinking what heresy army to do again. And I really want to do Night Lords. I really want to do Night Lords. What's the easiest way to? What is the easiest to paint? I'm not asking to be lazy. What is the easy? Uh, I don't know. I don't think there is an easy one, to be honest. I'm not like each one. Space Wars have got the grey side of things, which could be easy enough, but the problem is they've got lots of other bits like wolf fur and stuff like that that go over the top. It's so not easy. Blood Angels, reds can be a bit tricky. Depends how you want to highlight up with them. Yeah, it could be easier. Ultramarines, again, blue can be relatively easy. Salamanders, if you're just doing a green and not doing a flames, they can be relatively easy. White Scars, not so easy. Thousand Suns, not so easy. Iron Warriors, they're pretty. You could probably get away with them pretty easy, to be fair. It's just like gold, silver. So potentially, if you're doing Hazard Stripes, not so easy. Word Bearers, Word Bearers would be easy-ish. The problem is you start going to demon realms, and that's when everything starts going a bit weird. Yeah. Interesting one. What is the easiest legion to paint? I don't know if there is one. Honestly, don't know. I always have a hard time with yellow, so I don't think Imperial Fists would be high on that category for me. Um, yeah, probably Blood Angels, Word Bearers, Ultramarines, some kind of generic colors. Iron Warriors if you're not doing hazard stripes. Uh, yeah, probably say it's about right. I need to figure out what these things are around the Goliath's neck. All of them have got them. I just keep on thinking of like Battle Royale and head popping. Although the new generation go, what's Battle Royale? Don't you mean Suicide Squad? You're like, oh god. The amount of movies and TV series and stuff like that have copied Battle Royale is just incredible. It doesn't really get the recognition it deserves. Hunger Games, that's it. That was the big one that I was thinking of. That is Battle Royale, just not as violent. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Do 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 do. Concentration kicks in. Mouth shuts down. See, I'm never entirely sure. See the back of these boots? I'm never entirely sure where the trousers start and the boots end. It's always been a tricky one. I've never really figured it out, so I kind of guess. I think I think I can see it with these ones, but I've probably got it wrong. So yeah, I'm really hoping by the time I'm done with these, I don't do my usual thing of usually I get sentimental about what I've painted. I'm like, oh, I don't want to let it go because I painted it, and I end up not selling it, but then I never end up using it either. So I'm like, eh. So these ones will, I've got to force myself into putting them up online for sale once they're done. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. The thing is, I don't really know. It's one of those things where you can paint them good enough. Like, I'd say I'm sort of coming up to GW standard, like some of the, like, if I want to go to town or something, I can pull off like GW box art standard. It's just whether or not I can be bothered because it takes a lot of work. Um, so yeah, not sure, not sure at all. Awesome, loving Gallows. Which Necrobanda gang would you prefer to join if you could? Probably Delac or Van Sar. Goliaths are like crazy meatheads, which would be quite funny. But you know, Cawdor kind of religious. Saying that Orlocks actually wouldn't mind being an Orlock. Looks like everyone's subbing to each other in the chat. That's cool. Death Guard can be done quick, dry brush to the hell and wash, but can take ages if you want. Yeah, I did. I forgot about Death Guard. Yeah, they're pretty easy if you because you can just cover up your mistakes with grime and stuff like that. It seems very peculiar for a legion that wears white to be so dirty. Just seems weird to me. But hey, that's the fluff. It's really one of those odd things that I always think about when I'm painting, especially when I'm doing a live chat. I kind of half think about what should I be saying and stuff like that. And it spins you into this little cycle of scrambling around for things to think about. And stupidly, I end up on work and I'm like, God damn it. No one wants to hear about my job because it's really boring. But, and you're like, yeah, but now I can think about work is because I'm thinking about work and I don't really understand. I can't stop thinking about work. Um, yeah, which is a pain in the butt. But point being, it's a bit weird how sometimes you can't control your own thoughts, even though you're trying to control your own thoughts. It seems weird for a presenter aspect. So, will I be painting and selling the Escher Gang too? Probably. Um, because I've still got a set left, and why not? Gives me something to do. So yeah, I might well do that. I don't know when I'll get around to doing that, but at least it'll be a project off the desk, and yeah, I'll probably do that. It'd be interesting painting a female gang. It's interesting painting females. They have a lot more curves to them. Like blokes are typically, stereotypically, because not true for all, as just to appease the feminist friends of mine. Not all women are curvaceous. However, a good majority of them are. And it makes painting very interesting because if you think of guys are kind of like bumps all over the place, bump, 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 bump. That's what guys are. Or like flat parts and then bumps again. That's kind of what guys are. Women are curves all over. And it makes like lighting and stuff like that quite an interesting thing because you can't do it as the same sort of way you would do it with a guy. And there's an instinctual thing which I have, which I'm trying to learn to deal with, is not like obviously when with women you get the obviously the curves in their sexually orientated places. Now, looking at the models, the highlight points are kind of like the tips and the tips, the highest points. So you end up painting women's boobs brighter and stuff like that, and it's for a guy. from my upbringing and stuff like that, it's a very weird thing. Um, like I say, my upbringing from my traditional upbringing with my family, but I did art, so I've drawn women and stuff like that, so I understand it. But in my head, I've always had this little nagging thing of, oh no, you shouldn't do that because that's a woman. That's kind of like you're drawing their parts and stuff. But that's the whole part of it. That's a woman's physique at the end of the day. So it's makes life. It's an interesting conundrum in my head when I draw or paint women. It's kind of why I like doing it because it kind of rewrites my coding to I have to do it that way. So just because the model is that way. So it makes painting them quite interesting because I have to force myself to do something I'm really not overly comfortable with. But if you're not comfortable with it, the best thing is to do to keep on doing it until you can become comfortable with it. Wow, that could be taken such the wrong way, but um, struggling with women's bodies. Yes, yes, I am struggling with women's bodies. um, Sentimentality is how I've been working on dioramas for my friends, and it's hard to let go. Yeah, yes, it is. It's tricky, but yeah, it's one of those things. You, it's not necessarily. I'm not painting these Goliaths because I want a gang of Goliaths. I don't want a gang of Goliaths, but I do want to paint the Goliaths. And after they're painted, their purpose is pretty much done with me. So I don't. There's always that thing of like, oh, if my friends come around and they need a gang or something like that, I can get the Goliaths out and they can use them. Like, to be honest with you, what's going to happen is I'm going to instead play my games with my friends who have already got gangs and they're not going to want to borrow my Goliaths. They're going to have their own. So, what's the point in having my own set when I don't want to play them? So, that's the logic on that. It's kind of brutal, harsh because it's basically like I knew someone who used to hang around a lot and that used to call models a piece. I'm doing a piece on this. I'm doing a piece on this. We're like, what are you talking about? A piece? He's like, I'm painting this model. It's a piece of art. I'm like, right. Okay. So every model he did was a piece. So it it made me chuckle. Um, but to a degree, not wrong. Not wrong. Um, it is a form. It is definitely a form of artwork. Uh, just wouldn't necessarily say it's like mainstream art. And to call all the models you painted a piece of art, um, it's a bit grandiose, really, isn't it? Just kind of want to say, I just painted this model. People like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. But I mean, I guess that's true for art as well. But still, at the same time, um, yeah, is it art? Is it not art? I've talked about this way too many times. Is model painting art? Yeah, it is. But if you went around calling yourself and saying, "Oh, I'm doing this piece today," Um, yeah, it's just like, come on, dude, you're painting little toy soldiers. So, now here's an interesting thing. I was at work today and it started snowing. Now, other people in the UK, I don't know what's happening in America. Um, um, do you think women have a similar thing when painting male models? I'm not sure. I don't necessarily think so. Probably because we're a bit more slab-sided. Um, I mean, I don't know. Is that'll be interesting. I mean, we should ask if we've got any women viewers, to ask them because I'd be intrigued to see what they think. I mean, predominantly there are a lot of male units and stuff like that in the system. There are a lot of female ones, don't get me wrong. There are a lot. Um, Especially when it comes to stuff like elves and bits and bobs like that. But uh it always makes me wonder, do women when painting um like half naked men or nearly naked men, do they still get the same thing of like, oh, it's a naked man, I shouldn't be painting his chest area or something like that? But it, the thing is, with guys, I guess, I'm gonna watch what I say here because I'm gonna fall into a trap. The So guys will take their tops off quite a lot. Yeah, that's guys at the beach do that all the time. You see it in movies all the time. You also see women in bikinis and stuff like that in films all the time as well. So, hmm, what's more the norm? Women in bikinis or men topless? It's a thought, isn't it? Uh, 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 uh. Bulge highlighting. I like it, Lupus. Grimrick, wildfires in California and snow in Texas. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Snow where you live. Um, Elves have curves even on men. That is true. Elven men do. Interesting. Elven men are very effeminate. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Um, oh, I need to put a wash on these things. The base of these Goliaths need a bit of a wash. All right, what time are we at? 10 o'clock. Probably going to wrap it up soon, guys, and gals who are watching this, because we're talking about women today. Um, but it has been a joy to chat with you on this fine evening. I'm getting pretty tired, to be honest, so I think it's bedtime is calling for me because I do tend to wake up at silly o'clock in the morning. I might have a lie-in this weekend. Just recover from sleep deprivation. Um, I'm hoping, I'm really hoping it snows here overnight because my dog has never seen snow and I cannot wait for the day where it's got snow in the back garden and he goes out there and you get to see his reaction of like, what the hell is this? You know it's going to be amazing. It's always amazing seeing animals react to new things. Yeah, we'll get this Goliath finished, and then we'll call it a night, folks. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. There's more of you than I thought. A lot more. Um, so thank you for coming along and seeing what's happening. Yeah, Dire Avengers and Guardians. Yeah, I was going to say Eldar are very effeminate, or um, I guess you could say masculine as well. But they do have a lot of curves. Even the men um, makes it tricky to paint with all those plates that they've got because all the curves and plates and stuff like that. I personally had a bit of a hard time trying to figure out how to paint those. Because I wanted something to look cool, and I ended up getting something that looked a bit like Spider-Man, and I was like, yeah, that'll do. Oh, I've gone into concentration mode again. I'm like gone quiet to work on that. Need to work on that. Yes. So, also as well, people, if you're not aware, we hopefully should be doing Chilling Wargamers on Sunday, with Spud. Gonna see how he feels though. To be fair, he might be hungover. In which case, I might make him do it anyway. 'Cause it's really funny when he's hungover. Um, yeah, I have no idea what we're talking about either, so it's probably just gonna be our usual sort of randomness. But if anyone does want topics for us to talk about, we can talk about them. Here's a question as well, because it is coming up to Christmas. How many times is it appropriate to play Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas with in an hour? Hey, Charlie, how you doing? Um, so that Mariah Carey song, I haven't got a problem with it. Okay, I actually kind of like it. It's nice, it's fun, it's happy, makes you feel good and fuzzy inside. What I disapprove of is them playing it twice within the same hour on the radio. I've heard it probably about 7 to 8 times today. I'd say twice. No, twice is not the answer. Even once, like once every couple of 2, 3 hours is acceptable, but twice in 1 hour? Really? Should not be allowed. Should not be allowed. I don't mind the song, but any song, if you play it for more, if you play it more than once within the same hour, you're pushing it. Yes, I don't think you should repeat the songs. Not one per hour at most, preferably once per day. Yes. Yes. Um, I completely agree with you on that. I definitely think that is the right answer. However, I said that at work today, and a woman told me off. and called me a Scrooge. I'm not even sure what I did. That's just logical to me, but I got told off. I don't understand why. Depends if it's requested by the public. I don't care if the public requests it. I don't care. I don't. I honestly don't care if the public requested it. I'm like, nope, should not be on more than once. But hey ho, it does happen. So yeah, I'm looking at these guys' pictures. They're painted very artistic, very artistic. The faces are very white. Very white. How weird. I have to look into that. I've gone with a much different approach. I thought I was going close to the box art. I am miles off. Yeah, they've done a good job with that. Ah, well. That is what it is. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night. So, let's have a quick chat. You better not, Charlie, you better not be singing that. Yeah, I know. Tough luck is one of the things if it is on the radio. And the thing is, I thought it was a CD at first. I was like, who is playing this again? And then, yeah, no, it was the radio. What can you do? So, yeah. Right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Philly 40K, hello. I'm really sorry, dude. I'm just ending it. But thank you for turning up at the end. It will be live, so you can watch the rest of it in a moment. But yes, I'm going to go get some sleep and curl up because I'm rubbish in the evenings now. I'm really good in the mornings, though. So, yeah. Sorry, Philly. But hopefully you maybe catch you on the next one. We're live on Sunday at 7 p.m. British time. So I think it's GMT now. Yeah, so if you want to come along and hang with us then, me and Spud will be doing Chin and Wargamers, so you can chat to us then about whatever you want, because we tend to talk about whatever. So, right, I shall catch you all sometime soon, and there may be another Chin and Chat over the weekend, we'll see. If there is, I shall let you know. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take it steady, have a good evening. Good night.